What is up, DG Army Nethervvoid, also known as John, doing another World of Tanks patch video for you, and this is the last one I'll be doing. I covered tier 8, 9, and 10 on the Chinese light, or the medium and heavy lines now, and this is just as many videos as you really need for this freaking patch 8.3. This tank specifically is the WZ-132. It's the tier 8 light on the Chinese tech tree, where the Chinese medium line basically splits between a short stint of lights and then a short stint of mediums before reconverging on the tier 9 medium tank. This tank's pretty fun. It's got, let's look at the pen before I start zooming in a whole bunch. 172 pen, 200 damage, pretty nice. Definitely a flanking tank. It's going to be really hard to pen people in the front with this tank, but it's got really awesome speed. You can see I'm getting 60 kilometers per hour right there. Traverse on it is amazing. Power to weight ratio, ridiculous. Awesome acceleration. Great little scout tank, I think. Since it is a light, it does have the same, it will have the same camouflage rating, moving or stationary. So again, making this thing a really nice scout tank. Not having an autoloader makes it a little harder to kill artillery, but still an all-around beastly tank. The reload speed is amazing. I think it's 10 rounds per minute, not positive on it. But it's a really nice tank. Now, I'm not watching over there at all. Kind of trying to keep these guys lit for these dudes and take any shots I can. And I think I'm going to get hit by low in a second here. One thing I noticed, though, about this tank that's very, very difficult to counter, and it's the only real big the only glaring weakness for this tank is that since it's so small, the larger caliber shells hitting you can take out multiple modules and crew members with one hit. It happened to me, first time it happened to me, I thought, wow, that was really unlucky. You know, someone hit me, took out my track, my ammo, and I was on fire. And no, he hit me in the front and took out my tracks and my engine, and I was on fire. So I thought that, wow, that was really lucky of that guy. Another game, I fixed my, some guy took out my ammo rack, I fixed it, the next shot took out my ammo rack again. So I think it's because either the modules are too big on this tank and they're going to change that, and that might be a bug, I'm not sure, or the tank is so small, every shell you fire is going to hit a few modules or crew members. The driver gets taken out a lot on this tank, but also, so there, just the track gets hit, not too big of a deal, but as you can see with the text at the bottom, he hit my left and right track and went all the way through the tank and got both tracks. So that happens a lot too, I think, because the armor is so weak, it just goes all the way through the tank. Now you're going to see right here, one of those shots I'm talking about. 54 E1 hits me right there, takes out the back track. Let me pause it real quick. Alright, so I was trying to pause it to show you where he hit me and show you this, either, again, oversized modules, which is a bug, or just the tank being so small. It's a really, now, nice little bounce right there. This thing is very bouncy because it's so light. So right here when I come in, he's going to have a shot, and this happens a lot on this tank, like I showed you, just happened on the bridge as well. So it's he's about to shoot me, T-54E1 with that stupid autoloader. And let's pause it right when he gets that hit on me. Okay, so right here, it's a great, you can see the line of fire right there. Right through the front of my armor, it goes all the way through the tank, and if you can see my cursor, it hits me in the back track right there and tracks me on the left track, which is really weird. In the process, it also hits my ammo rack. Again, like I said, this thing, it must have an ammo rack the full size of the tank, because I got ammo racked in another game. I fixed the rack. Then the exact next shot, like in 10, not even like 2 seconds later, hits my rack again. So this thing is super prone to module damage and crew getting taken out. Now the funny part is, the rack is like 10 times bigger than the crew. I don't even know where they're sitting apparently, but so that's a weird shot that this guy gets on me, as you can see right there. And since it took out the opposite track that I'm used to, I didn't correct my gun because I thought it was going to turn me the other direction into his tank and where I could shoot him. So shortly after this, I die, which you already saw. I don't think I have end plates to this tank because it's really hard to get a good enough game to show you. So if I don't, sorry about that. I think I have a plate that shows, not an end plate, but at least a screenshot of the garage to show the statistics of the tank. And so let's look at that. Hold on a sec. Yep, I don't have end plates to that game, but I do have a screenshot of the stats, and that's what I wanted to show you. 1,000 hit points on this tank, much reduced from the, what was it, 1,700 or something on the tier 8, or was it 1,600? But with 1,000 hit points, you're going to get taken out really, really fast. So that's a big weakness for this tank. That's like 3 shots probably from most tanks. So don't expect to last very long. If you have to scout in this tank or get way behind enemy lines, because this thing is just basically ready. It's just sitting there waiting to explode. One good thing though, like I said, 520 horsepower engine pushing 24 tons. Really nice, more than 21 power to weight ratio, even just slightly, but still it's more. This tank accelerates amazing. 64 speed limit, definitely get up to that, no problems. 56 traverse on the tracks, 48 traverse on the turret. This thing has more than 100 degrees per second of traverse. It's amazing for flanking if you can get behind enemy lines. Now, wolf packs of these are going to be pretty amazing if you can all 3 survive long enough to actually get in there and wreak havoc, because they're so fast. Just drive away from the initial barrage and get way back in there where people are not expecting you because they're not watching their mini map. Now, you can see with the 25 on the side of the hull, that's probably why that shell just went straight through my tank and all the way to the other side and went through the armor again and hit the track, because there's 25 millimeters of side armor. Only 50 in the front, only 55 on the turret. This thing doesn't have any armor at all. It's basically, I don't know. I don't want to say that it's the Chinese saying we don't care about people, but they basically are not protecting their guys in this. It's definitely a scout tank. It just happens to have a really good gun. Now, 11 shots per minute is amazing. This thing has an amazing gun. It just sucks that it feels like you can't use it because it's such a paper tank. But that's the way it is. That's the way they built it. 400 meter view range, again, great for scouting. 750 meter tier 10 radio. Pretty amazing little tank. It's going to be one of those tanks that people either really love or just really hate, because it's so odd it's so odd and really not forgiving at all. Don't ever get hit is basically how you play this tank. Let me know what you think about it later, dudes.